Nickel?
Here.
Joe? Here. Kissinger?
Here.
Swayze here, Kratky?
Here. Set the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed. Public comments. No public comments. Consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
I'll support.
Discussion, question?
No.
No? Nickel?
Yes.
Kissinger?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Swayze yes, Kratky?
Yes. Correspondence and information.
I've received an email from Joe LaRussa from Supreme Consulting, and he's working with Comcast. Comcast plans to apply for funding for Armada Township to build infrastructure service to unserviced and unserviced homes. This will not cost the residents anything. On March 24th, we emailed our letter of support to Eric Frederick. He is the Chief Connectivity Officer at the Michigan High-Speed Internet Office, as they requested. Also, Joe LaRussa will be attending our May 8th meeting to brief the board further on the BEAD program through Comcast.
That would be good.
Okay. No unfinished business. Move on to new business. Third Amendment for Urban Cooperation Act and Agreement.
Good evening, board members. Kenneth C. Cook, current chair for Macomb Agricultural Purchase of Development Rights Committee. I believe you got a copy of the proposed amendment, and the reasoning for that is when former County Commissioner Don Brown resigned and went to work for Candace Miller's office, the Public Works, he was our conduit to the Board of Commissioners, because the chair of the County Board of Commissioners, by the agreement, can appoint 2 members to represent the commissioners on our committee, voting members. And Don Brown asked if he could still be a voting member, because he was, from the beginning on, involved with it. And at the time, we had Don Brown and also Jeff Schroeder from the county's planning department as the 2 appointees from the commissioners. With Don leaving, we lost our contact with the commissioners, so we got the new one, Ken Koike. We thought, well, see if the commissioners would appoint him and keep Jeff Schroeder as a consultant. But the county executive office heard about what we were thinking of doing, and they asked if Jeff could still be a voting member. So there's where we looked at. This was all done, the intergovernmental agreement, before we had a county executive form of government. Let's make it easy. Recommend amending the agreement to give the county exec 2 positions to appoint voting members. So instead of having just 15 members, potentially we're going to have 17 voting members. And that's what's before you this evening is, if you agree or agree with what we're proposing in that, to instruct the supervisor to sign the amendment form, which I have. So far, we've had Bruce, Washington, and Richmond Township agree to do it and sign it. So I'm here to answer any questions you might have or encourage you, hopefully, to approve it.
So Don and Jeff both want to stay on, and do you vote?
Well, Jeff has no say, but he,
Oh,
in the county
yeah.
form, he's under the county executive rule, where the commissioners, they have separates of powers or whatever you want to be in that. So we're just trying to keep everybody happy, but keep everybody involved, because so far we've had a good relationship with the county exec's office on this thing, along with the county commissioners. And we're just renewing and trying to keep up with the changing of times. Like I say, back when this was all done, there was no county executive form of government. It was just the commissioners. So
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I'll make the motion to approve the Third Amendment to the Urban County Cooperative Act Agreement as presented, and to have supervisor sign.
Second that.
Nickel? Nichol?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Getzner?
Yes.
Swack, yes. Crunchy.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks, Ken.
And
I'll get that to you tomorrow. I'll just email it to you, the signed.
I got one, I'll just.
Oh, just have them sign it? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. All right,
Have them
thanks.
sign, and when I get all six, I'll.
All right,
each township
not wasting
copy.
time.
thank you. Sounds good. Thanks, Ken.
Hope you don't have any dry ink in that pen.
Under B, conflict of interest. Long story short, due to the annexation of the property from Armada to Romeo, the question was who's gonna provide public service for those areas. We have a legal opinion that says we still have the obligation and the taxing to that area. Bruce Township wanted some clarification on that, just to say, on paper, you're responsible for providing service to that area. Both us and Bruce Township have the same attorney, so we needed to waive the conflict of interest so they could draft the letter. That letter would be brought in front of this board for approval at a later date.
That's
Say that.
absolutely correct. You will have the final say-so on the letter.
And so the reason Bruce is asking for the clarification is because they are currently contracted by the village.
Correct, and it is still subject to Romeo approving it.
I'll make a motion to waive the attorney conflict of interest and to have the attorney draft letter of understanding between Armada Township and Bruce Township in order to maintain emergency services within the annexed property on Powell Road for the purposes of receiving both SAD and ALS millages.
Support.
Joe?
Yes.
Nichol?
Yes.
Swack, yes. Getzner?
Yes.
Crunchy.
Yes. Next is the 2025 limestone project. I sat with Mary, we went over all the roads that we've done in recent times, going back to 2014. I also looked at Richmond Township and to see what they did bordering wise. And the roads that came up is 34 Mile Road hasn't been done in a long time and it's really rough. And the other one is Omo. I made a mistake originally because I didn't see the updated version from Richmond Township. But since then, they've actually done up to Florence on Omo, and what I'm requesting is from Florence north. I did see today they actually graded from Ridge to Florence today also. So I'm requesting 34 Mile Road west of Armada Ridge and Omo north of Florence, 1 mile. Discussion?
Yeah, I'm not aware of any roads that need it more, but I think limestone program is good for the township and good for the road, so.
All right, so your motion, Chris, is Omo Road north of Florence, 1 mile, 34 Mile Road west of Armada Ridge for 2 miles.
Correct.
I'll second that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you have any more questions?
Nope.
Okay. Swacky, yes. Nichol?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Getzner?
Yes.
Crunchy.
Yes. Next is D, Zoning Board of Appeals. This is kind of a unique one. We had an opening on Planning Commission, and we requested Randy Finley to be on it, but to follow the rules, he actually has to resign from Zoning Board of Appeals. And he did put his letter in to resign from Zoning Board of Appeals and requesting to accept his resignation.
I'll second that.
Joe?
Yes.
Nichol?
Yes.
Swacky, yes. Getzner?
Yes.
Crunchy.
Yes. Next is Zoning Board of Appeals appointment, requesting Ken DeCook for position, at the two big stuff, for position on Zoning Board of Appeals, open to discussion.
I'll support that.
And his term will be through April
He's
28th.
finishing the term, correct?
I think Ken brings, he's been on the planning commission, at least 16 plus years, I think, and as a PDR support and the resident of this community. I've worked with him for several years in the planning commission. I think he's got a lot of knowledge, and I think as the ZBA, when it's supposed to be the end-all be-all, I think that he'd be a great, support of advocate of the township to be there.
Yeah, I agree, and I appreciate his willingness to fill the position, so.
Thanks, Karen. Getzner?
Yes.
Nichol?
Yes.
Swacky, yes. Joe?
Yes.
Crunchy.
Yes. Next we have F, Planning Commission resignation. Joe Cucci reached out and sent an email resigning his position for the rest of his term. He just states he just has a lot going on, and he doesn't feel like he has the ability to give the obligation required, and I respect that of him. I do believe family comes first. He's got a young family and a business, and he said at this time, he just doesn't have the time to commit to it. So he did provide us with a resignation letter.
I'll make the motion to accept Joe Clutchy's resignation letter with regrets.
Or,
Nicole?
Yes.
Getzinger?
Yes.
Joe?
yes,
Sweig, yes. Gretchen?
Yes. Next is Planning Committee appointment. Requesting to approve Randy Finley for that position. Again, long history of being on the Planning Commission. Again, strong agricultural background. Discussion?
His term will be through March 2026.
Yes. Finishing term up.
Yep, I'll support your motion.
Again, I would just say that just so people in the audience know or listen at home, you know, we try to, supervisor, presents these applicants. And really, when you look at the planning commission, you know, they're the first line of, I say, defense, that we're reviewing the, applicants that are coming into the township looking to get approval. It's nice to try to have a very diversified, planning commission, that it isn't just the same 7 people that are on there. So I think with Randy coming in there, his experience, like the supervisor said, with a business owner, farming, he has been on the planning commission for several years, got a good background of the community, and again, understands, for me personally, understands the ordinance book, which there's a lot to go through. So it's nice to have somebody that's presented here tonight, rather than very green, that's having a hard time to get to that point. So I think it's a good nomination.
I agree.
and especially with, he knows the history of why those ordinances were put in place. So I think he's gonna have a good insight if there's something that needs to be tweaked, modified, whatever. He's got that knowledge as to, we did this because of this. Now we're a changing community, what needs to happen here? So
Absolutely.
I think
agree.
that's a good fit.
Getzinger?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Nicole?
Yes.
Sweig, yes. Gretchen?
Yes. Next is Fire Department grant, firehouse subs. For Marshall Canal.
Good evening, Chair and members of the board. We were notified April 1st that we were awarded the Firehouse Subs grant for a UTV in the amount of $35,053. We put in a couple applications to try to get that. It's quarterly. And we worked with Grace Performance. They required that we had a quote up front. Grace Performance in the past has donated some of their side-by-sides for us to demo at the fair. It should be noted that this unit is more beneficial than just the fair or other special events. Every year we respond to incidents off the road due to the Macomb Orchard Trail, our agricultural, we've had agricultural-related incidences, and then hunting as well. Kind of bear with me here with my sinuses with the weather. They're going to contact us by May 16th as far as the procurement process. There may be other small additions that we would have to cover, such as the lights and siren and stuff like that, but that will get us the side-by-side, working with Grace Performance. And it should be noted that we'll release a public release kind of explaining more about the Firehouse Subs program. But we had to partner with a store, which our closest one was the Hall Road in Hayes and Sterling Heights. So we just need to put it on the agenda to get that approved to accept that grant
That
tonight.
is very cool, Kevin.
Yeah,
Good
I
job.
I appreciate it.
Yep.
That is
Yeah.
really.
Thank you for putting in the time.
And I think it'll really benefit the department. Like I said, it's more than just the fair or other special events. We do get a lot of incidents off-road, whether it's field fires. We've had incidents with farmers getting injured, and
Yep.
we just can't get to them very well. In hunting accidents, we've had people fall out of tree stands and stuff like that. So every year, it would go to use.
Absolutely.
So
Great job,
this is a
Kevin.
very, very difficult grant to get, and I thank you so much for your effort and persistence, and it's a huge benefit.
Yeah, I agree. I think you kind of answered it, but it will be upfit with a water tank, it sounds like, as well, like a means for, or is it, or not?
I'm not sure, so I think initially it's to get the side-by-side
Okay.
unit itself. And then obviously let's put some lights and sirens on it. And then there are some different units, what they call it, skid units that they can
Yeah.
put in the back. We just have to decide what's best for us. Depending on how we're gonna use it, we're gonna focus on it. We do have a good grass truck for field fires, but this could still be used for field fires as far as taking equipment off-road, even if we go a different route to focus on medical and patient transport. So it'll still be useful to take equipment. And we have what we call like water packs, where we fill with water. We can still take those to off-road where a field fire would be, so.
Awesome.
It just depends what down the road they decide to outfit that with, if they decide to outfit with that upgrade.
Okay. And
So
these-
this, yeah,
I say the grant, is that gonna cover any upfitting?
not like the
Okay.
SCED unit.
Okay.
And again, it depends, because we gotta look at by the time they approve their procurement process, what model we're gonna be able to get from Grace Performance and
Yep.
working with them.
Okay,
So,
awesome.
in the grand scheme of the cost, it would be very minor, the additional upgrades, and it's still gonna be useful even without those
Yeah, I
upgrades.
agree. Thank you.
I have to also say that I want to extend a thank you and gratitude to Firehouse Subs for being a part of this.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I would also, just a small, quick little, I eat there quite a bit.
And I appreciate that.
Well,
so
and
it's-
it correlates to that to where, I have to say, sitting there, I have always read all the signage in there that says that, we give back. And I don't want it to come off like saying as a gimmick, but I sat there and thought like, really? Do they really give back to this? What's their history to it? I never see anything. Well, here it is, Kevin, and you did it. You brought,
Right, no,
you
yeah.
brought my inner, yeah, where I'm sitting there eating, thinking like, I don't mind contributing, because I think it's great, but I was always like, geez, I never see this anywhere around, and you brought it here to Armada, which is awesome, so thank you.
Thank you again.
No, thank you, and like you said, support the Firehouse Subs. Our location is Hall Road and Hayes, and all the locations contribute to this program.
Perfect. I'll make the motion to accept the grant in the amount of $35,053 from Firehouse Subs for the purchase of a side-by-side utility vehicle for department use on trail and off-road.
Support.
Swank, yes. Nickel?
Yes,
Joe?
Yes.
Getzinger?
Yes.
Crotchy?
Yes. Thank you.
thanks, Kevin.
Very
Next is policy and procedures. We were gonna discuss policies and procedures tonight, but unfortunately, Lori couldn't make it. She had a mandatory meeting she had to abruptly go to today. So I'm gonna make a request that we postpone this to,
April
April 22nd.
Sure. I'll make,
have a
yeah,
special
I'll make
meeting.
that motion to postpone the policies and procedures discussion until Tuesday, April 22nd, and set a special meeting at 7 PM.
April 22nd, 7 PM. Special meeting. I'll support.
Tuesday.
Nickel?
Yes.
Swank, yes. Joe?
Yes.
Getzinger?
Yes.
And Crotchy?
Yes.
I-
Trustee Nick.
I have nothing. I noticed the clocks are looking pretty accurate, so I think everything is good.
Trustee Singer.
Nothing here, thank you.
Joe.
I'm good.
Harry.
Nothing?
All set?
Yep.
Motion to close the meeting at 7:18.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.